Critical moment for Aerodrome Finance. Is it over or is it actually time to double down? My name is mikemadz. Let's start this video. Before we start the video, as always, I want to say a huge thank you to the Aerodrome community. You guys actually blew up my account here. Many likes, many comments, many subs here. So keep doing what you're doing. Make some noise so more people can hear about Aerodrome. Let's start this video. Alright, let's stop wasting time. Let's jump straight into it. First question I actually want to ask you guys. Is there still hope for Aerodrome? Did you sell? Are you buying? Do you still have hope for the project here? Let me know here down below in the comments. I'm super interested to read it. Why am I asking this question here? Because clearly, guys, the price action is not the most bullish right now. Weekends are selling. People are simply taking profits. And overall here, we're waiting for Bitcoin to finally make its move here to confirm if we are currently in a bullish short-term move or we actually have more downside risk here in the summer months. So this is why it's super important, as always, to keep an eye on the metrics to see if the sentiment, the current sentiment, is actually leaking here into the metrics. Are people leaving the ecosystem or are actually things moving in the right direction? Now, take a look at the rewards here on Aerodrome. Aerodrome has distributed over $50 million in total rewards, jet fuel for the base ecosystem. Long story short, guys, Aerodrome is the safest bet here if you are bullish on the base ecosystem. Full stop here. You're not investing into a meme token. You're not investing into a project with no utility, and you're not investing into a project here where the numbers don't back it up. So pretty simple here. Risk-wise, Aerodrome is extremely attractive. You just need to ask yourself those questions right now. Are we currently at fair value? Is there more downside risk? And how high can this thing go once peak mania phase arrives? Pretty simple here. Now take a look at the volume here. Since the start of the year, native USDC on Aerodrome has grown by 200x from 720K to $138 million. A tremendous success. Again, guys, the numbers don't lie. Numbers wise, I'm not worried about Aerodrome here. Super attractive risk to reward. All we currently need is to form a real bottom here with a nice set of conviction players. Weekends being shaken out, as a lot of investors in Aerodrome are in their first cycle here, and of course a 50% correction can be scary, and it's completely understandable here in your first cycle to be shaken out. So nothing against that. So let's assess where this bottom might be. Numbers wise, nothing to worry about here. We just need to fall back into bullish sentiment here. And of course, we need to form a bottom and move up from there. All right, jumping straight into the price action here for Aerodrome. Of course, guys, since the top, we are down over 50% here. If you are a conviction player, if you believe in the project, don't see the reason why not to buy something that's 50% discounted here. Alone, the move back to the all-time high is already a super attractive trade here for Aerodrome. So from the top here, to the current prices, over 50% retracement for the price. And of course, as I said in my last video here, guys, we were somewhere around here. I said if we have candles below this level, confirmed closed candles, we most probably gonna retest this liquidity area here at 70 cents. As we saw, guys, we moved pretty close to that level here, around 80 cents here. We didn't dip to the 70-cent area, but it was close enough. More importantly, guys, we had a decent reaction here from those lows, and we are currently up 28% from this wick here, showing you there is actually interest here in those levels to DCA into Aerodrome. Super important currently, this psychological support here at $1 needs to hold, guys. Super important level simply because it's a psychological level here. I don't see any real support here on the charts. But psychologically, of course, $1 makes sense to hold. If we can't hold this level, I simply expect two things here. Either we dip down again to the 80-cent level here, create a double bottom here, and then move up from here, or actually still on the play here is a lower low here where we finally test this liquidity zone, as I said in my last video, at around 60 cents. For you, the most important thing is either you are currently content with your position, you just simply shut off the charts, forget about Aerodrome for a couple months, or you simply DCA at these prices and always keep a cash position for the worst case scenario if Aerodrome dumps even further. Of course, guys, for the entire market, we need to see where Bitcoin is heading here in the summer months. If Bitcoin manages to stay bullish here in the short term, of course, this can be the bottom here at $1. And of course, a move back to the upside here can be extremely rapid here with those altcoins. So I wouldn't be surprised if we retest those lows, but I also wouldn't be surprised if we're back at all-time highs here in the next couple of weeks. The most important thing is you need to be prepared for each scenario, and whatever trader tells you he's sure what's going to happen next, unfollow that person, because it's simply impossible to know exactly what's going to happen here in the short term. Be prepared for each move, and you will be better off than most investors. For the people that are scared here about this 50% correction, I just want to show you this chart here on Aerodrome early March, guys, where we had this massive first move to the upside here on Aerodrome, and then we also had a 55% correction to the downside. A lot of people got shaken out here from this move, and as you can see here, it took multiple weeks here in this area here before we had this massive next leg up here to the all-time high. So it's not easy to be a holder, guys. Nobody said it's going to be easy, and if it would be easy, there wouldn't be an opportunity. So cherish those times. For me personally, guys, a 50% retracement here from the top is extremely attractive to DCA into this project. Not financial advice. All right, covering the core thesis here for Aerodrome, not to forget the reasons why we're actually bullish on Aerodrome. We are bullish on Aerodrome because we are bullish on the base ecosystem. Why are we bullish on the base ecosystem? Because we are bullish on Coinbase here and the seamless onboarding here of the already existing users here on Coinbase into DEXs like Aerodrome. And this is why it's important to always keep an eye on Coinbase itself. And clearly, guys, here, Coinbase revenue soared by 72% to $1.6 billion, smashing analysts' predictions here. So Coinbase here over-delivered, and Coinbase is absolutely thriving here. And Aerodrome is some sort of high beta play of Coinbase. Now, of course, you can buy Coin here, the stock itself. And I personally think here, Coin itself has a lots of room to grow to the upside. But Aerodrome is a super high leverage play here on the Coinbase stock itself. And this is why it's important. If Coinbase is doing great, it will trickle down, of course, into the base ecosystem. And the base ecosystem, Aerodrome is the biggest player for that. So this is why it's important to compare the base ecosystem here to other blockchains to see where things are headed. And as you can clearly see here, the 1 month change here, despite this dip here, we're up in TVL 20% here for base. And we're slowly catching up here to Blast. And I think pretty soon here also Arbitrum. So the monthly change here still in the green despite this dip with a 20% gain. This is absolutely bullish here with a TVL of already $1.5 billion in TVL. If we narrow this down here and we move into the base ecosystem, clearly, guys, Aerodrome is still the biggest player and there's no competition for that. So risk-wise, again, guys, Aerodrome is the safest play with almost $700 million in TVL. Uniswap is not going to catch up with that. Extra Finance still far away here. And if you look at the monthly change here on Aerodrome, we're still in the green with 70% despite the price here dipping. So this underlines my bullish sentiment here on the metrics of Aerodrome. We just simply need the sentiment to catch up, and we need to have a clear, conclusive move here for Bitcoin in order for prices to climb back up. All right, finishing the video here with the most important question: when can we finally see higher prices? And again, here, guys, I want to ask you that question, so let me know your answers down below in the comments. So when can we finally see higher prices for Aerodrome? In my personal opinion, it really depends if we have a summer lull for crypto here, where the summer months usually are sideways or red, or not here. So if this cycle is different, we can still see higher prices here in the next couple of weeks. If this cycle plays out similarly here to other cycles, we can expect the summer to be a rather boring scenario here. But the most important thing is the upside potential here. And this is one critique here towards Aerodrome. My personal view, the only critique I have for Aerodrome is that the upside here, it's not like a meme token where you can expect 100x from here. The upside is attractive here, but the upside is limited, guys, because you have to keep in mind the fully diluted valuation is already over $1 billion here, which doesn't mean we cannot reach $10 or $15 here for Aerodrome. But in my personal opinion, those price predictions here with $60 plus, $50 plus, super unrealistic, and you should not invest into Aerodrome with these kinds of expectations, because you simply will be exit liquidity for people who sell you this dream of a $50 Aerodrome, but you will be most probably here left holding your bag all the way down to the bear market lows. So in my personal opinion, be happy with the $10 Aerodrome here. Still super attractive upside potential, of course, but don't expect $50 simply because we are already at decent valuations here for Aerodrome. But again, guys, the risk to reward is extremely attractive, as the risk here is limited in my personal opinion for Aerodrome, and the upside is still super attractive. So let's see where things go from there. Of course, if we have a crazy mania phase and if the money printer is back on and they print trillions of dollars again and the total crypto goes to $10 trillion, the sky is the limit. So I'm not saying it's impossible to reach crazy high valuations, because I know what mania phases can do to certain tokens. I'm simply lowering my standards, but I'm happily surprised if we move higher than that. At the end of the day, guys, as always, be bullish on yourself. That yields the most returns. Do your own research, super important. And the most important thing is, as always, don't get wrecked.
not giving up from blue tops like Marge Simpson. Just hard discipline, pot simmering, cooking up, no rocks in the pan. Watching the plan form in the sand, bidding castles out of thoughts in our head. Late nights, no sleep in my bed, trying to see my dreams manifest. Look at that, now look at that, we nice. Put the past on ice.